Welcome back to the Takeout. The White House says it is remaining open to what it considers numerous options to acquire Greenland. Here was Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt earlier today when asked about a potential, maybe cash offer.
Well, that's something that's currently being actively discussed by the president and his national security team. And I would point out that the acquisition of Greenland by the United States is not a new idea. This is something that presidents dating back to the 1800s have said is advantageous for America's national security.
Retired Army General and former CIA Director David Petraeus joins me now. He also served as head of Central Command. David, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. The press secretary is correct. It's not a new idea. It's not a new idea, Greenland, and its potential security meaning to the United States, but this is a new set of methods in discussing how it might be acquired.
Well, look, President Trump has used a variety of different methods over the years, often different than his predecessors. And in fact, he's often gotten results with those methods, such as getting Europeans to finally spend much more on defense than they had been as a percentage of GDP. He's in a moment where there's real leverage coming out of this extraordinary demonstration of American military capability, this operation to bring Maduro and his wife to justice, not even losing a soldier or an aircraft, despite what are now, we're learning, some very considerable gunfights, including over 30 Cuban Secret Service members around Maduro alone. So there's a moment he uses all of his leverage. Let's go back to his own words, Art of the Deal, where he says you should use every tool that you have, flex your muscles before you sit down. In fact, before you sit at the table, punch the other guy in the nose. So these are unconventional means. It's using the leverage that we have. One will hope that obviously there's listening to those on the Hill, such as Senator McConnell and others, talking about the vital importance of NATO. Obviously, Denmark controls the Greenland territory. NATO member, we have a base in Greenland. If we want more facilities or infrastructure, I'm sure that Denmark would be happy to negotiate that with us. If it's that we need more of the strategic minerals and rare earths, again, I'm sure that they're open for discussion on that. And we have a lot more influence right now, a lot more leverage, I think, to get what it is that we presumably want. Although I think some of the notions thrown out there are more for the leverage effect than they are for real strategy going forward.
Would you put the threat of military occupation or landing in Greenland in that category?
I put that likelihood pretty low.
I like to diffuse the conversation that it's not a nutty idea that there are very contemporary, meaning here and now, security interests in Greenland. And as climate change changes the navigability around the
Very
Arctic,
much so. Yep.
these are legitimate issues. But how would you rank
These are
them,
very
David?
legitimate issues.
How would you rank them? How do we think about, how should we think about the idea that there are some number of Russian vessels, some number of Chinese vessels in and around Greenland? Is that near the top? Is it 10th, 20th? How should we think about that?
Oh, it is a big concern. And at a time when, as you note, because of climate change, the polar ice cap is melting. On Greenland itself, the ice is melting, and it's exposing more strategic minerals and rare earths. So with each passing year, it becomes of greater geostrategic importance. And again, I'm sure that Denmark is open to discussing together with the leadership in Greenland what it is that we are seeking to achieve and how that might be done.
David Petraeus, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you.
Good to be with you, Major. Thank you.